So how many of us have got into fix and flip and we took down that wall and whatever was behind that wall just added 2 months to your flip? And you know who doesn't care is the lender. They say, well, I'm sorry, you're going to keep paying. You're like, well, but I need some more time. I need a higher, more, our budget just went up, da, da, da. And if you've borrowed against your own policy, you can basically be, and a kid, I'm like, self, I need more time. Can I have more time to pay me back? And you get to dictate how that works. And you say, okay, well, I can stop paying myself back for a little bit until I've handled the situation, right?
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Investor Fuel podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil, and today I'm joined by someone that I'm looking forward to chatting with, Jason Powers, who has been making serious moves, creating a strategy called Infinite Banking Concept. So excited to have you here today, Jason.
Hey, thanks for having me. I always enjoy these programs.
Awesome. Me too. I think our listeners are going to really take something away from how you're teaching people how to control their flow of money. So let's dive in. First off, for those that are not familiar with you and your world, can you give the short version of what your main focus is?
Yeah, so we teach people about this concept called the infinite banking concept. And that concept really is about putting your money in a vehicle that you control, because we're constantly putting our money into different vehicles that we have no control over. We finance everything we do in life. Think cars, colleges, credit cards. Think we put our money into qualified accounts that we can't touch or we get penalized for touching. And so we're constantly placing our money into vehicles that we can't really have any control over. Even and you think about the stock market, right? We don't have any control. The stock market dictates what it's going to do. And so teaching people how to change the flow of their money in that regard. And then the vehicle that we teach people how to utilize this concept through is properly structured dividend-paying whole life insurance from a mutual carrier, which is a mouthful.
Yeah, amazing. I think that is so important. Can you expand on this life insurance program that you are teaching, what it does, what it offers people?
Sure. So I believe the concept, right, is getting away from our money being these different debt vehicles and things we can't control again, and then properly structured dividend-paying whole life insurance, like I said, is a mouthful, because it's not just, hey, go get some life insurance, and it works that way. There's different types of life insurance vehicles out there, and so that's why I say properly structured whole life insurance. So we're dealing with whole life insurance versus other kinds you may have heard of, and it's properly structured. It's structured in a very particular way to get access to what's called cash value. So if you're not familiar with whole life insurance, you do pay a premium like you do any life insurance. But along the way, you get access to what's called cash value. And that cash value inside of the policy, you can borrow against it, and you can use it for whatever you want throughout your life. So in this vehicle, the cash value is growing at an uninterrupted compounding rate year over year over year throughout your entire life.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And you can access that cash value. When you access that cash value, it actually grows inside of the policy as if the money never left. So it's this uninterrupted compounding. Now you've got the growth inside of the policy, but now I've accessed that cash value. And in this context, I'm going to go purchase real estate with it. I'm going to do some type of real estate investment deal with it. So now my money is making money in two places at once. So I have this positive arbitrage. And then I am my own banker in effect, right? I'm borrowing against my policy, and I wouldn't steal from a lender in any situation. So I'm going to pay myself back as well. I'm going to borrow from myself and pay myself back. And thus, obviously, the longer you have this type of vehicle, the larger it's growing and the larger that pool of money is throughout your life.
Yeah, amazing. Sounds like such a powerful concept. How is this supporting investors specifically? Why would real estate investors want this?
Yeah. So you think of all types. So you've got fix and flip is the most common one, maybe, wholesaling, fix and flips. You've got the buy and holds, commercial property. In all situations, we need capital as real estate investors. I do real estate investing myself. And so if I've got a short deal, if I'm going to pick up a property, I need a quick money deposit, right? But I had to warehouse that money somewhere. So in my savings account, I can do that. Or I could have it warehoused in my policy. I could borrow against my policy and then use that money as a quick down payment, have quick access to it. Or if I need to finance something, if I need to do a flip and I'm going to go get a private money or hard money loan at 10 and 2, 12 and 4, whatever you're paying these days. And instead, if I have start building up this vehicle, I can borrow against my own policy at a way cheaper rate than what I'm getting from any outside lender. And now I'm controlling the lending function. And so I can borrow. Let's use a buy and hold example. We've got people that will have built up cash value in these policies, and they'll borrow against the policy and say purchase a rental property, pay cash for it. Well, instead of a mortgage, the would-be mortgage paying the bank, they're now paying themselves back. And while they're paying themselves back, every dollar they've paid back to themselves is there to be used again on something else. But at the same time, which I alluded to at the beginning, is the cash value inside the policy actually is growing as if it never left. And so even if you don't have enough in there for a purchase, outright purchase, a down payment at worst for a rental property. And then, so we've got people that after a couple of years of doing this, the cash value inside of these policies is growing enough that money is basically duplicating itself. It's doubling itself every few years, and they can go and just rinse and repeat. Keep borrowing, keep paying back, keep putting deposits on houses or purchasing houses, however much you've got. Your rental income was going to be used to pay the mortgage. So be your own banker now. Now, instead of paying the outside mortgage, you go pay yourself back and recapture that money. And again, every penny you recapture, you can go and purchase another property with it all over again. And so the same works when it comes to fix and flips. If I've got to put money into a rehab, I'm going to borrow against my policy. I'm going to save a boatload of money on the interest because I'm not paying a hard money guy. And then I'm going to pay myself back. And it's an unstructured loan. So I get to dictate, when am I going to pay it back? How much am I going to pay back over how much time?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So how many of us have got into fix and flip and we took down that wall and whatever was behind that wall just added 2 months to your flip? And who doesn't care is the lender. They say, well, I'm sorry, you're going to keep paying. You're like, well, but I need some more time. I need a higher, more, our budget just went up, da, da, da. And if you've borrowed against your own policy, you can basically be, and I kid, I'm like, self, I need more time. Can I have more time to pay me back? And you get to dictate how that works. And you say, okay, well, I can stop paying myself back for a little bit until I've handled the situation, right? And then even bigger, right? We've got guys that use it for commercial stuff, and it works the same. It doesn't have to just be real estate, cars, colleges, emergencies, retirement. You can build this up and it can be an income-free retirement for you at the end. And so you're using this vehicle throughout your entire life to make you money, save you money, turbocharge the things you're already doing. And then you could continue to use it into retirement as an income-free retirement even. And it's a fantastically diverse strategy that I think not enough people know about and don't realize, because we have these misunderstandings of the capabilities of life insurance.
Yeah, absolutely. That is so fascinating. I definitely didn't know that. Sounds like there's so many pros and solutions that this can offer people. Are there any reasons this wouldn't work, or any type of person or investor that this, maybe not be a fit for?
Yeah, I would say typically what happens is, when we sit down and build out strategies with people, it's not a one size fits all approach. So everybody's situation is unique. And so we're going to come in and go, okay, well, what are your goals and objectives? What's your income and expenses look like? And help formulate a plan to build out this plan for you. So the people this usually doesn't work for, I'd say from a monetary perspective, if you are in, let's call it an irresponsible spender in general, and you have a long history of it and you don't have any plans on changing that, that's probably not a good idea, because money's coming in one hand and out the other, and you have no control, or you feel like you have no control and you refuse to do anything about it. I'd say it's a bad idea to add this to the mix also. Just like going to get another credit card when you have a spending problem. It's just, like you're just going to make it worse. So that's bad. I'd say another type of person that this probably isn't good for are people who aren't willing to think outside the box, right? If you like just sticking with the norm and you don't want to vary from that, it's going to make you squirm in your seat, I'll call it, right? Because you don't want to think outside the box. And this is a think outside the box model, right? If you're hearing this for the first time, you don't fully understand it. And so I want people to understand it. I want you educated before you're implementing it. And so I rarely will we get into getting an actual policy until we've gone through quite a bit of education beforehand and making sure you understand it and the nuances of it and how's it work. Right. There's this thing we call the arrival syndrome, where is basically the thought process of, I've already learned all there is to learn and there's nothing more you can teach me. I have arrived, right? It's that mindset. That's a tough mindset to overcome, in this context. If you're like, I already know all there is to know, great, good for you. You keep doing what you're doing and that's okay. But I think a concept like this, a strategy like this, I'm not coming in and I'm not saying you need to change your real estate investment strategy. Your strategy may be working great. I'm talking about changing the flow of your money. And just by changing the flow of your money through a vehicle like this can turbocharge what you're already doing. It's not a either or strategy, it's a both and strategy. We'll do both this and that. And in tandem, what it'll do for me will be much more than I was doing.
Yeah, absolutely. That feels so supportive for people to have that resource and flow for their money. And yeah, also that awareness of where they're at with their beliefs and their financial goals for how this can support them. Awesome. So, what are you most focused on solving or scaling next in your business?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Well, I think, as I kind of alluded to, everybody's situation is different. And so when I sit down with people, I don't want to put you in a box. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. And people come in and they're putting a couple $100 into a policy to start because that's what they can do. People come in and do a couple $100,000 a year to start. I mean, everybody comes in, everything in between, right? And it's just where are you at in life? And so I think the work is all in the beginning, right? You didn't get to be good at real estate investing overnight, and you put in the work, you put in the effort, you put in the education and the experience, and you got your feet wet. Maybe you started small and you built up over time. Some real estate investors are crazy enough. They just dump head first in and jump into the big commercial deals out of the gate. Fine. But in most cases, you're starting small and working your way up. So maybe that's how it works with implementing infinite banking in your life. And so I think it's exciting for me to see people get it and implement it and then go, oh, wow. When that light bulb comes on and then they see it work. And so that's what I spend my time on is the educating and the helping implement and the strategizing and all of that, and helping each person get this thing in play.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. So are you coaching people one-on-one? Are you teaching people in a course? How are you educating people?
Yes, I do tons of one-on-ones every day. In education, I do online webinars. I do events. We speak at a lot of real estate investor associations around the country. Got a lot of stuff online as well. And that's kind of a good way because you can educate on your own time when you have time, right? We're a busy culture. We all want to kind of watch our videos when we have time. I always love just meeting people, and then get on the website and schedule the call, and we will talk. And I'll show you the ropes and show you case studies and show you how it works. The education, right? It's wide. Let's say there's a lot online, and there's a lot of programs I do throughout the year.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. I think educating people is so important. So are you like walking them through this process of how to get started and what to do and just giving them the full roadmap?
Yep. Yeah. So education. We start with education. And then after that, once you get it enough to know, okay, yeah, I want to explore how this might work for me personally now, then we're going to set up some strategy planning meetings and start having those conversations, start talking through income, expenses, assets, liabilities, goals, objectives. What are we trying to accomplish here? And what do the numbers look like? And then that kind of allows me to move the puzzle pieces around and see what works in your situation, and then brainstorm with you as the client, and then we work together on it. Like, it's not me trying to just design your life, it's you got to partake in that process, and so work together and come up with a strategy that works, that you want to implement. And then obviously it deals with life insurance, and so in the end we have to get through the underwriting process of that and get approved. And so we're strategizing through that process, and we know what we want to do by the time that offer comes back. And then when it comes back, we're ready to implement, and you are off to the races. And then continue educating, right? I've been in this for years, and I still learn things. It's not a set it and forget it type of approach. You get in there and you implement it and get it started. And the more you use it, the more you'll understand it. And so continued education throughout the year. I mean, we constantly have programs throughout the year that are just reviewing and teaching new stuff, new strategies, new case studies, things like that. So it's a process, right?
Absolutely. That makes sense. So yeah, when it comes to like growing your business and connecting with new people, growing that network, what are some things that have made that big difference for you?
Well, I think just getting out there and meeting people, talking to people, and getting yourself out there. Obviously in my business, it's getting out there and getting in front of people and educating. For the real estate investor, how do you find the deals? How do you find those deals? Well, you find the deals by, again, getting out there. Get to these networking events, get your network together. And who do you know? Who do you know that knows people? And make those connections and go to, there's a lot of wonderful programs out there. You guys have programs built in here, and there's so many places you could learn real estate investing, but best place is really experience, right? And so at some point you have to stop learning and start doing and get out there and start doing. And I think it's that way for anything.
Yeah, 100%. The doing piece is necessary. So
Hmm.
before we wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect, learn more from you, where can people do that? Where can people find you?
Yeah, I think the best place to get started is on my website, wealth.com/real estate. It's wealth.com/real estate. That'll get you right to a page. We've got a free ebook on there about infinite banking. You can download the ebook. There's a couple of on-demand webinars on there. You can schedule a meeting with me if you want to skip all that, do all of that, and schedule a call. We'll do it all at the same time. And just get started and look into it. The ebook is free. You can get that and download it, get a preliminary perspective, watch one of the quick webinars on there, and then call me. Ask questions. Don't self-eliminate. I always encourage people, don't self-eliminate. If you're like, oh, I can never afford that. Oh, I can't get insurance, etc. Let's have that conversation, because there's a lot of peripheral ways to implement this if it can't be on you specifically. But that's the
Absolutely.
best place to start.
Perfect. Love that. Well, I appreciate your time, your story, and your perspective. So thank you for being here.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And for those listeners tuning in, if you got value, make sure you've subscribed. We've got more conversations with operators just like Jason who are building real businesses. We'll see you on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.